Sheffield Wednesday, 5-minute view from the Kop. Well, we lost another match, 2-0 to Bristol City. Another battling performance. We played okay, and then obviously slipped up. I thought first goal was a decent goal, really. Couldn't really do anything about it. Second, bit of a mess. There you go, that's where we are. Where are we? Well, so after during my time, you know, the heady heights. The heady heights for me started with Jack Charlton coming into the team, and despite the fact that he used to be off fishing and like to read his fishing manuals, magazines, despite the fact Wednesday started to build something, players who really wanted to play for the club, a lot of local lads, interesting fitness regime with Tony Toms and getting them running up and down the Kop and through the woods and things like that, and players who sort of lived in decent accommodation but quite local. I used to see him around. Carried on through the times of Howard Wilkinson and such, and you know, eventually we become that team where we would expect, and there should be no guarantees in football, where we're sort of one of the biggest cities in the country, despite the fact that we've got two teams. Well, you know, Liverpool and Everton, Man City, Man United can support big teams, so we were up there where we belong, really, I suppose. And the early 90s, dreaming about potentially winning the title and cups and lots of trips to Wembley and all that kind of stuff, and then the sort of long slide down, little bits of comeback with Brian Lowes and Paul Sturrock. So it's been a bit of a roller coaster, hasn't it, watching Wednesday, and somebody who's been there for a long time. A lot of that time, Barry Bannon, 11 years, and this is now seems to have come to an end. Don't really think he wants to go. I don't think his family want him to go, but potentially looking at, is he going to get any big paydays now? The situation at Wednesday, this is just dragging on and on and on. We had lots of people interested. We had like 11 interested in taking over the club, and then whittled down to 3, and then whittled down to 1. But he sort of made his money from gambling and seems all a bit uncertain in the background. There is talk that Bannon wanted assurances on his future. Well, for somebody, not just somebody who's been there for a long time and been warming a bench, but somebody who's the absolute beating heart of this football club. Now, we all know that we're getting relegated this season. We all know that we're going to probably lose the vast majority of the games that we've got left. But what have we got to hope for? Well, we turn up because we are the massive. We are a community, and that includes the players. And we see people like Bannon who can show a bit of passion, and you just feel that that's like, you know, us out there sort of trying his best, but yeah, no longer. So what's actually happening? Well, he's he talked that he's going to go to Millwall, but apparently Millwall have not made an approach. I think, you know, if he's going, I hope he gets somewhere sunny, somewhere not in this country. I don't want to see him at Hillsborough or wherever else in somebody else's shirt. Don't really want to see that again, really. We should have done absolutely everything we could to keep him, and that includes telling him that he's going to become part of the coaching setup. But we've decided that we're not doing that. If he's unhappy about the way that it's going and assurances about the future of the club, maybe it's a bit of a worry, really. Is this takeover not going to go through? Is it, people come to Hillsborough and they see that fantastic stadium and and it still is, it needs a bit of work, but still, you go to any other local clubs, a lot of big clubs, and what you'll see is a smaller stadium. It's such a grand stadium at Hillsborough. And yeah, I know about the fact that the Leppings Lane and he's knocking down and rebuilding again. Yeah, absolutely. We need some money. We need some money in infrastructure and such. And the kids have tried their best this year, and some of them have just been brought on far too early. But it'll stand them in good stead. I just don't know where we go from now. Where do we go now? Well, I think there's a potential that this takeover is not going to go through at all, and we may end up going back on the market. We could end up with the minus 15 next season, and then be looking at going down to League 2 potentially. But it don't matter. It don't really matter, because at some point we're going to come back and we're going to absolutely smash everything, and we'll become a big club again. It just amazes me that we've not managed to convince people that we're worth putting some money into. I just don't understand that at all, especially this season. Having absolutely nothing to play for, really, other than pride, and actually putting in some performances. We've not rolled over for the most part, other than the odd game, including the derby match, unfortunately. But yeah, so the match yesterday, well, again, we shuffled as much as we could, really. Not really much in the way of options. I think that we're talking about Bannon. He's been the one that's stepped up when others have gone missing. And I say gone missing because it's funny, isn't it, when you're doing poor, when you're having a tough season, nobody wants to stick their badge on that. Oh, well, I were injured. Yeah. Really? Are they all injured? I'm not sure, because a lot of these players are going to go on and they're going to have injury-free seasons elsewhere, as we always see. We've seen that a lot with players. They come to us when the times are tough. They're in the sick bay. But maybe that's just the way that we are. I don't know. Things will eventually improve, but I don't know when. It's going to be some time, and we ain't going to get Bannon with us either. It's the end of an era, and it's sad to see, really, because the captain is leaving the sinking ship. He would have been nice if he wanted to go off and he saw himself as being potentially a top-end championship or a lower-end premiership player. Don't know really whether he's got that energy but now, but would have been nice for him to just say, well, look, this is going to be my last season, like Steven Gerrard did, and he signs off, maybe even goes to America and does a couple of years over there, and then retires, comes back, coaching badges. Not saying he's going to be Sheffield Wednesday manager, but being part of our setup would be absolutely fantastic. And that might still happen, may still happen, I don't know. But for us, well, what's it going to be like now? Like I say, rip the beating heart out of our team now. So what have we got? We're going to go into The next matches, well, Jaden Eske's showing some promise, but he's just a young lad. Thornton, Thornley, Johnson, McGee, Emery. But then we've got to look at what's going to happen now. So if we lose a skipper, then what we got? We got a fire sale coming up. Valerie injured, but apparently he's potentially going. Allow pretty much a deal done. Will we ever see Deshaun Bernard in Wednesday shirt again? Will we ever see Ike Ugbo in Wednesday shirt again? What's happened there? Is he injured, or is he just that poor that they just said, well, there's no point even putting you on. We're better off putting a 17-year-old kid. Where's Will Granger? He was looking good. Brown. Be interesting to see him back. I mean, it could be the start of a new era and potentially, some exciting young talent coming forward. I don't want us to just spend loads of money and try and spend his way out of a situation. Don't want any of these mercenaries coming in who don't really care about the club. They just care about the wages. And again, going back to the likes of Bannon and Palmer, they're comfortable off. They earn more in a year than most people earn in 10 years. But still, in the grand scheme of things, in football, it is a short career, which can be an amazing career if you want to put the time and effort in. So, don't think there's really. I can understand now. There's people saying that that's it. They're done for this season. I've got a season ticket. I'd be interested to see what they're wanting to charge for next year, because to watch a bunch of kids in the league below starting on -15. Yeah, I don't know. Just somebody just sort it out. And but at the end of the day, like I say, we are a community. We will come back. We are Sheffield Wednesday. This has been 12.5 minutes view from the Cop, and I'll see you next time, and we will still have hope. Bye for now, and up the Owls.